Healing your moon will change your entire life. Yes, I said it, because your moon impacts every area of your life, whether it's your confidence, your relationships, your success, the relationship that you have to your body. Your moon has an influence on all of it. And today we want to make sure that you no longer live by the wounds of your moon, but by its powers, because your moon sign is just your inner child screaming for safety, screaming to be seen, and wanting to be worthy of the life that you desire. So today we're going to tap into the magic and make sure that you heal the patterns of your past. So the moon is one of the most beautiful placements in your chart and one of the most misunderstood one. I know that we talk a lot about emotion when it comes to the moon, and yes, your moon is the emotional foundation of your life. That is why it's impacting and running everything. But what we don't talk about enough is that your moon sign is the gifts that you wanted to bring your mom at birth. So when you were born, your moon's energy is whatever your mom needed most. But the problem is that because she needed it, a lot of times she didn't know what to do with it. So she rejected whatever you were trying to give her. And this, of course, creates an inner feeling of not being good enough, of feeling rejected, of doubting yourself and your own gifts. Does that sound like you right now? Then congratulations, you have just uncovered the wounds of your moon. Of course, your specific moon sign has its own deeper core wounds, but the general wounds that are connected to the moon are all of this. Never feeling good enough, constantly feeling rejected. All of this is a part of the moon wound. But of course, you can change it. And understanding that these wounds that were inflicted on you, the lack of safety that you experienced in childhood is not your fault. But healing and reparenting your moon is one of the most important things that you are going to do for yourself in this lifetime. So let's talk about how to actually do it. First, I want to give you my best tips on healing your moon and what has helped me on my own transformation, because I was someone who had a very wounded moon. I was struggling a lot with low self-worth. I didn't know how to emotionally regulate myself, a lot of anxiety, problems with processing my emotions, and also with vulnerability. Like, I would not show my emotions to people around me. I would not talk about how I was feeling. And that was a big part of my transformational journey, because I really wanted to access my inner confidence. I really wanted to overcome my fear of visibility, and I also wanted to love my body. That was something that was very important to me. I wanted to feel at home in my body. I remember a conversation I had with my friend, and she was talking about, she's like, have you ever looked at all of those, like, what kind of pretty are you? Dough pretty and this kind of pretty. And I just said to her, I looked at it and I was like, I don't care what kind of pretty I am. I just want to love myself. And it was so funny because my own quote, like my own saying, stuck in my head. And at that point, it really became a priority for me to change my relationship to my body and to really access that inner confidence and that inner calmness. And some days that works better than others. That's normal. Just having a fluctuation in your confidence levels and your emotions, that is completely normal, because just like the moon, your emotions fluctuate. So I just want to make sure that you don't think that this means you have to be perfect and you never have any insecurities or you never struggle with anything, but instead it is about learning how to be there for yourself in moments of struggle and not letting it derail you. Because before, when I didn't know how to connect to my moon and how to heal my moon, the smallest inconveniences would derail me from my path. And especially when it comes to showing up and showing my true self to other people and showing up online, there was a big fear of that. It was a big fear of being seen, because I was so afraid I wasn't interesting enough or I was going to be rejected. And that is a key part of your moon sign. I personally have my moon in Libra, so I had to really learn how to overcome this people pleasing, giving my energy and love and everything I have to other people, and instead focusing that energy on me and pouring into me. And that was a big part. I also have my moon in the 6th house. So health, routines, having sacred rituals where I pour into myself have been extremely healing. And when we talk about the moon as well, the moon is one of the rulers of women alongside Venus. So healing your moon in general, whatever moon you have, it doesn't matter, but healing your connection to other women that can be your mom, but also your friends. Having female friendships in your life is going to be very healing. And I know that it can be a hard thing. I know that it can be something that you struggle with. I know that I struggle with this a lot. Like, I had great friends in high school, but because of my fear of showing my emotions, connecting to anybody emotionally, I wasn't really able to connect with my friends and really show them the love that was meant to be pouring into those connections. But now that I've healed my moon, I have worked on my healing these wounds, I have people in my life that I'm super deeply connected with, and that helped me heal a lot of these wounds and that soothe a lot of these insecurities that I had in the past. So having healing female friendships is going to be one of the most amazing things that you can do for yourself. Just know I spent a lot of my time alone right when I got out of high school. Like, I think the first 3-4 years I didn't really have any friends. So I just want to make sure that you understand that you don't necessarily need other people to heal your moon, but it can be very helpful. And healing doesn't really happen in isolation. So you can start this work and you can start this journey alone and by yourself, but making sure that at some point you go out into the world and practice this new feeling of confidence, this new feeling of worthiness, all of this going out into the world and connecting to other people. What really helped me was going to a lot of classes, dance classes, pole class, trying out a lot of things and connecting through people to that, because you will meet a lot of different people and you will find your tribe that way. The best way to really find your people is to go to events and classes that have interests that you love, because you're definitely going to find people there that you connect with. But that is something that I really realized for me, that my whole universe is very feminine, is very female focused. I made a decision a few years ago to really decenter men from my life and focus on the women in my life. And that has helped me tremendously also in relationship to my body, because before you have this feeling of wanting to be attractive, wanting to fit into this certain stereotype, wanting to fit into this image of a good woman. But once you decenter men and once you focus on your female friendships and feminine energy and all of this in your universe, in your life, that is going to change a lot. It's going to give you a lot more confidence, and it's going to make you very self-trusting and self-secure, because that is also something that is connected to the moon. Self-trust, learning how to trust yourself. One of the biggest parts of learning to trust yourself is not constantly asking other people for advice. That is something that you really need to learn when it comes to your moon. You need to learn to tap into your own unique powers. And especially if you are like me, a Libra moon, because the Libra moon is very outer focused, very focused on other people, relationships, and wanting to do everything right for other people, you need to learn how to center yourself first. So this is a great journey to do a little bit of really own focused alone work, and then connecting with other people and putting into practice what you have learned, what you have healed, and what you have changed. So now let's get into all of the 12 beautiful moon signs and the ways that you can heal your moon. The best way to do that is by understanding your unique moon sign. So we're going to talk about how your inner child is currently running and blocking your dream life, and how to shift it so you can live the life that you actually desire. First, we're going to, of course, dive into Aries. Aries moon, the gift that you wanted to bring your mom was confidence and independence. You wanted to remind her her of her willpower and that she has the right to choose, that she can put herself first. And that is something that you need to learn in this lifetime. It is very important for you in the way that you sabotage yourself right now, the way that your little inner child is screaming for safety every time is by reacting very impulsively or not sticking to things. So being either very outwardly aggressive, being like, no, I don't need your help, I can do this alone, like I don't need you, or you're someone who internalizes everything, who doesn't really feel anger, who has people cross their boundaries constantly, and who struggles with really being consistent in their life, with going after the things that they want on a consistent basis. So you want to tap into this inner fire, into this inner confidence, into your willpower that you wanted to bring your mom, and instead gift those things to yourself. Now, my beautiful Taurus moon, you wanted to bring your mom stability. You wanted to bring her comfort. You wanted to bring her luxury, money, stability, love for her own body. And that is something that you now need to gift and learn for yourself. The way that you sabotage your dream life right now is by clinging to comfort, clinging to what you know, and being afraid of change. It is this feeling of, what if I go out there and everything changes? What if I can't control it? What if everything breaks down? It is very important for yourself to create this inner stability for your life and for yourself, and give that inner child in you the security that it needs. You want to give the things that you wanted to bring your mom now to yourself, and that is how you heal her, and that is how you give yourself the confidence and power to change your life and live the life that you desire. My Gemini moons, what you wanted to give to your mom at birth was laughter and joy. You wanted to bring her connection. You wanted to share information with her. You wanted to laugh with her. That is what you wanted to gift her, but you felt like you weren't heard. And that is something that your inner child still feels. Your inner child often feels like it's too much, like it's not interesting enough, like it doesn't deserve to be seen. So giving your inner child this nervous system safety, regulating your nervous system, making yourself seen, making yourself heard, listening to your inner voice, making sure that you go after your curiosities and your interests, and giving yourself this joy and this laughter, and giving yourself this room to speak and to be heard is the utmost importance if you want to create the life that you desire. Give yourself the things that you wanted to give your mom. That is how you heal your inner child, and that is how you manifest your dream life. Now, my loving Cancer moons, the thing that you wanted to bring your mom was emotional closeness. You wanted to help her regulate her emotions. You wanted to make her feel safe and cared for. And that is something that your inner child desires as well. This is something that your inner child really wanted to give your mom, but now needs for themselves. Because this is something that you might do in your life right now. You overgive to people. You take care of everyone around you. You make sure that everyone is okay, everyone is taken care of. Listen to their emotion. Make sure to help emotionally regulate them and process their emotions. But what about yourself? If you want to create success in your life, if you want to manifest your dream life, it's time you give the gift of your moon to yourself. And the way to do that is to learn how to process your emotions, how to be there for yourself and take care of yourself. Every day, being there like a mom. Be a mom to yourself. Reparent that inner moon. Make that little girl inside feel seen. And that is how you manifest and create the life that you desire. Now to my powerful Leo moons. What you wanted to bring your mom was joy. You wanted to give her confidence. You wanted to make her feel seen, make her shine. You were her little star, but in a way you couldn't perform enough. You always felt like everything that you did, you had to stuff down your emotions, and you had to give her this joy. You had to give her this confidence. You had to make sure that she was okay and perform for for her, and now you struggle with this. You struggle with feeling like you need the constant validation of other people, that if they don't approve of you, that if they don't give you their approval, their applause, that something is wrong with you. So understanding that your confidence doesn't come from other people, giving this joy, this inner light, this shine to yourself, allowing yourself to shine, to connect with people who see you and value you and applaud you, not just for the performance that you do outside, but also for the little inner child that you are, for your emotions, for the way that you view the world, for who you truly are on the inside, and not just what you have performed and showed to the world, the image that you have made of yourself, but instead the true joyful inner child. Give yourself that confidence, connect to that inner child, do inner child work, make yourself be seen, and know that you don't need the applause and validation of other people to be worthy. That is how you manifest and create the life that you desire. Now to my amazing Virgo moons. You wanted to fix everything for your mom. You wanted to make sure that she is good, that she is taken care of. You wanted to bring order to things. You wanted to be the one to fix her whole life. This is the gift. You wanted to bring your mom order, and you wanted to make sure that she is taken care of, that her mind, body, and soul are in alignment, that she is connected to herself, connected to nature, present in the moment. But that is something that she often couldn't receive. So what you instead felt like, that you could never do it right, that you were never enough, that whatever you tried to do wasn't good enough. So your inner child still feels like there's everything wrong with them, that they can't do the thing correctly. And that is something that you want to give your inner child. You want to make sure that it's seen, that it is taken care of, that it knows that all of the things that happened in their childhood aren't their fault, that you see yourself as a very capable, very powerful woman and being and human, that you know that you can achieve anything, and that it is not your responsibility to fix other people. Your responsibility is taking care of yourself, being there for yourself, giving yourself the things that you didn't receive in childhood, and really learning how to not be so hard and harsh on yourself. That inner talk, the inner critic inside of yourself really needs to be soothed. That nervous system really needs to be regulated so you can manifest and create the life that you desire. Give yourself grace, give yourself compassion, and that is how you heal your moon sign and access all of its beautiful power. Now, my fellow Libra moons, I am so excited to be talking to you about this because, of course, I have my own personal journey with this moon. And what you wanted to give your mom was you wanted to gift her a beautiful, harmonious life. You wanted to make sure that she feels desired and seen and really connected, that she never feels alone. But the problem is, what happened, you avoided conflict and hid your own feelings because you felt like that was the right thing to do, that if you ever wanted to gift her all of those things, you needed to put yourself last. And that is the biggest problem for you now. Your inner child really desires for you to acknowledge their own feelings, to see yourself, to listen and honor your own emotions, and to not lose your identity in other people again. Making sure that you are your own person, that you know yourself, that you have clear boundaries, standards, and values, and that you do not compromise them for anybody, and that you stand up for yourself in the moments that you need it. Not always just falling back into being invisible, hiding behind who you think you need to be, but really giving yourself the safety, making yourself seen, and that is how you heal your moon sign and how you access the power to manifest anything that you desire. Now, my powerful and deep Scorpio moons, what you wanted to bring your mom was loyalty and protection. You wanted to be there for her, to really soothe her deepest traumas, to be there for her in her darkest times. And that is what your moon sign needs from you right now. It needs to know that your darkness is not something to be ashamed of, that you deserve a life of light and fun, but also that the world isn't afraid of who you truly are. Because the problem now is you need to give those things to yourself, and you need to stop keeping up those walls, because as a Scorpio moon, you were maybe entangled in betrayal, in manipulation, in just secret things, in secrets that you maybe didn't want to know, just in a secretive environment where you felt like you always had to keep things inside and you had to keep things hidden. So now it's time to bring them to the light, to connect to other people. There is a deep fear of intimacy, and that's what I said at the beginning when I talked about my own journey. Yes, you need to heal your inner self. You can do that with the reprogramming of your moon audio, with the magnetic moon guide, but also understanding that you deserve to have other people in your life that see you, that love you, that you get to connect to. Really making sure that you do not push things into the darkness, that you do not ignore your own emotions, your traumas, that you do shadow work and get really present with who you want to be, and to not let those walls keep you from creating the life that you desire. Let yourself be seen, connect to other people, and show up for yourself and heal the things that you keep inside. That is how you manifest and create anything that you desire. Now, my beautiful Sagittarius moons, what you wanted to bring your mom was hope. You wanted to bring her freedom and optimism. You wanted to gift her all those things and help her live a free life. But if she couldn't receive that, now your inner child desires it so much. It wants to be optimistic. It wants to have fun and enjoy life. But in a way, now the things that sabotage that and that keep that little girl from really living their beautiful life and that block your dream life is running away from everything in your life, feeling like you need to travel or escape, or even spiritual bypassing by being this positive vibes only. This can keep you from actually accessing that true optimism and hope. You deserve to be here. You are not too much. That is something that a Sagittarius moon has a deep, deep fear of, that your power, that your joy is too much for people to handle, and that you do not deserve to really have roots anywhere, that you do not deserve to be seen, that if you're not the fun one, the joyful one, then you're not going to be accepted. But you need to give this true joy and this true optimism to yourself. And the way to do that is to also acknowledge the hurt. It is also to acknowledge that there is no fault in yourself for having all of the emotions. Your only emotions don't need to be happiness and joy. If they are, that's great. But if you sometimes feel sadness or anger, all of these emotions are allowed, and you deserve to be here. You deserve to share your voice, to share your beliefs, making sure that you work on your belief system, because Sagittarius is connected to your inner beliefs. So making sure to reprogram your subconscious mind with something like the magnetic moon audio, where I give you affirmations specifically for your Sagittarius moon, something that helps you change that inner dialogue and helps you access that optimism and freedom that you deserve. And that is how you manifest and create anything that you desire. Now, my powerful Capricorn moons, what you wanted to gift your mom was responsibility. You wanted to bring her success and a connection to her inner wise woman, because Capricorn is connected to the female lineage, to our inner wise woman, and also, of course, to legacy and success. You wanted to help her become more successful, to really take responsibility for her own happiness. But if she couldn't receive that, now you struggle with exactly that. Either you overwork yourself to avoid your feelings, or you feel like you can't really take ownership for your life. You feel like you need to be responsible for everyone and everything around you. But who is taking care of you? Who is listening to you? That is something that is really important for you as a Capricorn moon, to not be so harsh on yourself, to yes, really prioritize making shit happen for you and taking responsibility for the desires and the goals that you have, but also not being harsh on yourself on the way there. You don't need to be responsible for all the people around you. They can take care of themselves as well. Now it's time to take care of you and make your happiness, your success, your desires, your number one priority and responsibility. And that is how you heal and manifest and create anything that you desire. Now, my beautiful Aquarius moons, you wanted to give your mom freedom and really that deep power to believe in her hopes and her dreams and her future again. You wanted to make her feel okay with being different and going after a unique path. But if she couldn't receive that, now you feel like an alien. You feel like something is wrong with you because you're different. And what happens is your inner child intellectualizes their feelings. You detach from everything and you feel like you are too different to be worthy of what you want. And that is something that you really need to heal and gift yourself the things that you wanted to bring your mom, to make your inner child feel seen for their differences, to make them feel confident in who they are. So really working on your inner confidence, on working on believing in your dreams and visions for the future again, with being okay with being different, being a little crazy, and also really making sure that you feel your emotions, that you don't just push them away and detach from everything. By showing who you truly are to the world, that is how you magnetize the right people and opportunities. By showing your beliefs, your differences, your visions and hopes for the future, your dreams, that is how you magnetize and manifest anything that you want. Being Pisces moons, what you wanted to bring your mom was unconditional love and compassion, but you felt like you had to take on her pain to do it. And that is something that your inner child still does as a mechanism to block you from your dream life. You still feel like you have to take care of everyone's pain and you need to absorb it. And something that you really need to learn is to gift those things to yourself, so that unconditional love and compassion, and also learning how to set boundaries. Because the biggest thing with Pisces moon is Pisces is connected to escapism. So that can be either through trying to save everyone around you, or it can be through being addicted to substances or losing yourself in movies, books, dreams, something that helps you escape from this reality. So it is very important for you to ground yourself into reality, to make sure that you have clear boundaries and that you give that unconditional love and compassion to yourself instead of only to other people. You're a very sensitive soul, but you're a very powerful soul, because Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac. So you are one of the most powerful signs out there. I know sometimes it doesn't feel like that. The hurt and the pain can get too much, and that is why you need to learn how to set those boundaries and gift yourself this beauty that you have. Now that is how you really create and manifest your dream life. The most important thing to remember when it comes to your moon sign is that none of this is your fault. These emotional patterns were wired into you when you were a child, but you have the power now to reprogram yourself and reparent yourself and gift yourself those gifts that you wanted to give your mom. And the best way to do that, I can only recommend my Magnetic Moon Guide plus the Reprogramming Your Moon Sign audio, where I give you affirmations specifically for your moon sign, because this goes way deeper than I ever could in one video. We talk your emotional patterns, specific practices, and go way deeper into the powers of your moon and how to feel fully safe receiving the love, money, the success, and the relationships that you desire, linked in the description. So make sure to check it out and let me know in the comments what you think about your own moon sign. How do you feel about it? What's your experience? And let me know what kind of videos you want to see next. Should we dive into other planets? Do you want to see more money astrology, more health astrology, or manifesting your dream life? I can't wait to create more for you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.